Hi kiddos, we've done it. This is our last lesson video for the week. This is lesson 4, finding equivalent fractions. Some of the vocabulary, the only thing that we have new is equivalent. And if we were together, I'd ask you, what word do you hear at the beginning of this word? And it would be equiv, which sounds a lot like the word equal. So it shows equal fractional parts of a whole. So same size, same shape. Okay, so I've attempted to make my, let me do this. I've attempted to make my fractional bars same size, same shape, but you're gonna have to bear with me, okay? All right, so if I have the whole number, so we're not gonna start with fractions, we're gonna start with the whole number with the value of 4, and we look at this tape diagram and it's split in two equal or partitioned into two equal parts, what would each part be worth? Okay, all right, so we'd have 2 and 2, okay? Another way that we could write the value of 4 is to split it so that we have 2 and 2, and then I'm going to split this side again. Okay, so it looked exactly like this. We're pretending. So we know that this side was 2, but I took this portion and I split it yet again. So if I partitioned that piece into two smaller equal pieces, then how much would each piece be worth if the total value is 4? And the answer to that would be splitting 2 into 1 and 1. So this 2, if I split it right here, would have that 1 and 1. So I have 1 plus 1 plus 2, which still gives me the total value of 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this down here. Okay, so I have 1/2 equals 2/4. Okay, so first thing I want to do, I want to represent this 1/2. Okay, and I'm going to lightly shade, and I know it's not perfect, just bear with me. Now lightly shade 1/2. So this is showing that my 1/2 is equal, let's see, 1/2, 1/2. And then we can show that it is equal by doing the next fraction. So I'm going to partition it into two pieces again, but then I'm going to split each half in half again. Okay, so this is the part that was shaded. And now I have split that into a smaller unit fraction. So whereas this is 1/2, this right here would be what fraction? So let's look at our denominator. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. And so we know each unit fraction will be 1/4 and 1/4. And again, if we use that repeated addition and I have 1/4 plus 1/4, we know that that would be 2/4. Okay, so I have 1/2 is equal to 2/4, and we can see it right there. Okay, so we're going to go down to the last one, and it says 3/4 equals 6/8. So the first one I'm going to represent, I'm going to do 3/4. So I know that I'm going to have 4 equal parts. So I'm going to partition by using 3 lines to get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to label them 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. And I'll shade them orange. I want to shade how many? 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I have this value right here. I have 3 out of 4 pieces that are shaded. Okay, so let's go ahead and redraw our fourths over here. So 3 partitions, 1, 2, 3. And then this time I'm going to take this and I'm going to shade as many as I did on the first tape diagram. And then I am going to make partitions inside each equal piece. Okay, so I'm doubling the partitions. Okay, so now we have to figure out what our new unit fraction is, and hopefully we're going on the right track. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8ths. So I know that each unit fraction is going to be worth 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and label those now so that I know. And of course, even though this isn't shaded, it would still be the unit fraction 1/8. But we're looking for the amount that are shaded. So we know we have 8ths, and now we have to count them up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 3/4 is the same thing as 6/8. And so now I'm going to do one last thing down here. You're going to be asked to create a tape diagram. And the second tape diagram. Okay, and we'll pretend that those are same size, same shape. They're totally equal. And at first, I just want to show, let's do this. Show halves again. Oh, that's a terrible half. Try again. All right. A little bit better. So I'm going to shade one of those. Okay, and then I'm going to do the second one the same exact way. I'm going to show half and the shading for it. Okay, so now I'm going to show that the value of this whole thing is 1 and the value of this whole thing is 1. And we're going to make some equivalent fractions. So I'm going to just pick, I'd like to do 3 partitions here. So I'm going to make two partitions here to make 3 equal pieces. So that's 1 partition, 2 partitions. 2, 3. Same thing in my unshaded. So whatever I do to one, I have to do to the next. So I'm going to make a partition, a partition. So now I went from having half of it shaded to having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the unit fractions are all 1/6. Sorry about my handwriting, folks. Okay, and so now how many of our 6 do we have? 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6 is the total of 3/6. So 1/2 is the same thing as 3/6. Just have to eat more of the smaller pieces. Okay, so let's try this one. This is also a half. And so this time I'm going to do 4 partitions for each piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 partition, 2 partitions, 3 partitions, 4 partitions. And you might be wondering where I'm getting my numbers from. I'm just picking them. So I know that I need to partition whatever I do to one partition piece, I have to do to the other equal partition piece. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10ths. I made a lot of work for myself, didn't I? All right, so we can keep going. This kind of gets back to our lesson the other day about multiplication, which is so much easier to write it. But okay, so now I need to know how many tenths are going to be equal to 1/2. Well, let's find out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. Okay, so I can visually represent equal or equivalent fractions by taking the original fraction and then doing the same amount of partitions in each space. Okay, and we'll go over this again as a review. Go ahead and try your exit ticket for me, and I look forward to seeing them on Dojo. Thanks, friends.